Family and friends, how goes it? It's Thursday and another week is just flying by. The computer is working better. I'm not going to upgrade my service. As a matter of fact, I'm going to drop my cable TV to lower my bill. Just really needing to bite the bullet here and just make money stretch as far as possible. Yesterday I received some VCLT, and I also took some records in for trade, so I have some records to talk about and show, but I'm going to save that for either later in this video or for the next video. I'd like to comment a little bit more. It's just I really do feel the need to share my thoughts. You know, I get enough comments from people that let me know that speaking up is important for everyone. The thing that I went to bed last night after doing another session of writing, I love it when the writing is happening, you know, and so I'm writing again. And last night I was up late, and I want to get back to the idea today. But when I went to bed, I like to listen to Coast to Coast with, you know, George Norrie, depending on what's on, because that outlet of information is frustrating to me, because I've listened to it for years, starting back with Art Bell. But as time went on, as much as I was getting information, it became more and more apparent to me that this is really seen by someone as entertainment more than real. And as a result, some of the way the subject matter is dealt with, and some of George Norrie's ways of dealing with things just annoy me, because it seems like here is another missed opportunity to actually do something, and it's just reduced to commerce, entertainment. The first item that came up last night was the latest school shooting. Where is it? In Pennsylvania? Not shooting, the knifing, okay? And the thing that irritated me and irritates me is the continued mainstream media stance about things like these, which I think is part of the problem. This knee-jerk reaction of, how did it happen? What went wrong? What can what clues can we find out when we look into this person's background that could have tipped us off? I think that entire approach is part of the problem, by insisting upon this stock stance of incredulity of how can this happen. Everything is, it's as though to say, well, everything is just fine. Why are these things spinning out of control? When the fact of the matter is that things are just not just fine. And these events, whatever they mean or don't mean, in my opinion, if I were in a position of leadership, I would be acknowledging them more honestly, because it's not helping. And this is where I break from mainstream thought. I'm certain that a part of the thinking behind maintaining the status quo and insisting on maintaining this presence and shield of we've got this under control, or things are the way they're supposed to be, and this is an anomaly. I would be saying, okay, enough of this has happened, that this is not an anomaly. This is an occurrence because of something that needs to be addressed, and we're not addressing it. And that's what I'm saying, is that our kids killing each other, cutting each other up, going berserk, people killing themselves, bankers either committing suicide or being disposed of. These are all symptoms of the sickness that, especially in the West, we absolutely appear to be refusing to face up to and address, put it up on the table. The economy is trashed. The economic system that we set up has been taken over by crooks and criminals. Daily we're fed lies, disinformation, misinformation, while we're being robbed blind by these crooks. And it just goes on. And I just had to speak up and say that, you know, this stance of how could these things be happening? What could be wrong? How can we anticipate this happening again? All those questions are questions of denial of reality. I honestly think I do think that if corporate media weren't so concerned about their bottom line of just always ensuring that they can make money and would allow people to do their job and report things honestly, that we could start to work towards some solutions. But at this point we can't. All we can do is remain blind consumers, told what to buy. So I wanted to just kind of comment on that I said it, I'm going to say it one more time. At this stage of history, I think it is foolish for the status quo mainstream media voice to keep speaking from an old point of view that is dead. Life is completely out of balance in the Western world. That's where I live, so that's where I'll say first. America, Europe. We're so focused on keeping the economy running, and that real life has become detritus. It's become, our lives and what they mean have become meaningless, because the only thing that seems to matter is the money and the power. And so our children spin out. Whatever happened to that boy, I don't know. It could have been bullying. It could have been something else. It may have been nothing. It could have been a psychotic break. But I'm telling you, whatever that is, it's an aspect of a larger issue that really needs to be addressed head on in order for us to move ahead. We live in such fantasy. We really do. You know, I've started to work with a musician named Matthew Kucera. I wasn't intending to join another band, and it's not that I've necessarily joined his band, but we're rehearsing, and he had hired me to do some doo-wop vocals on his upcoming album. And now I'm rehearsing with him, and we'll probably do some shows with him. But what I like about Matt, and this is what I like about working with certain people, is we're getting to know each other, and he's on a journey of self-discovery as I am. And so we get into these discussions. He stopped by yesterday to not so much practice, but to hang out and get to know each other, which I like a lot. And he's very positive, you know. He's very, very, I like that. He's got a real positive outlook on life, you know. And we were talking, he's a dance instructor as well. I mean, very interesting guy. And we were talking about that and how in times of depression and bleakness, dance and some of the most common arts really rise in popularity. People don't even realize it, you know. And like Dancing with the Stars and the popularity of shows like that, you know, just ways for people to numb themselves and escape into something that can bring just a few moments of you know, well, dance is fantastic, you know, because, you know, you stimulate the entire body, the brain, the central nervous system, and so it's a natural feel-good drug, you know. And we were talking about that, how, you know, it really is endemic of the times, you know, things like that, you know, and how corporations are happy to give us our bread and circuses to keep us distracted while they continue to just, you know, party or whatever it is they think they're doing. See, that's the other reason why I always talk about this, because my stance is, as smart as rich conquesting people are, they're not smart enough to realize that they're connected to everything they're doing, and that they cannot escape. And I think that there are aspects of the super rich and powerful who really believe that their power is so absolute that they can escape their destruction, that they can escape what they've done, you know, how it's affecting us. That, oh, we're just gonna hop off, leave this planet. I mean, I don't know if that's real, but I can see that. I can see people thinking that. Well, the shit just hits the fan. Well, we got this space hopper on standby. We're out of here, and fuck the rest of you people. To me, that message is so obviously the one that we're being given by people who are in a position to do anything. Is that mankind doesn't matter. We do. We're winning. We're getting what we want. We're doing what we want. And, you know, we'll tell you people something, but we're not going to do nothing for you. We don't care about you. I don't know how anyone can defend the imbalance of life, or say that somehow this is a good thing, that it's okay. I mean, this is the way it is. But to somehow say that this is what God wants? Are you fucking kidding me? And then all the idiots, even including the idiots, and I am just ranting, including the idiots I know who have a little bit of money. You know, having close to $1 million is not having any money. And I know people who have that kind of money, and they think they're one of them. They're fools. People with $1 million are not rich. They're scum to the 1%, just like I am. I don't give a fuck about those people, and that's how they keep the illusion going. You know, these people who are at the back end of the train think that they got them fooled. That's why I'm talking about this stuff. You know, it's just things on my mind. I will share the VCLT I got in another video. I got a wonderful package from Poland, not from Simon, but from a musician who, it turns out, I know of his work. I didn't recognize his name right away because it's a fairly common name, Richard Johnson. But he has a background in punk and outsider music. And he sent me a wonderful package. I'll talk about it in my next video. And to continue with what I was sharing in my last video about perception, I just think that there is a lot to that. Not that people should not have belief systems. Not that people can't be religious. You can do whatever you want, obviously, because you're doing it. But to look at how those things are used against people, that's the issue. The issue is not whether or not you want to, I think you should believe in Jesus, or whether or not Jesus was real. Look what they've done with this story and how it's been distorted and just abused, you know. The path of the Spirit is what is important, not the dogma that you follow. I mean, this idea of saying, I believe this and I think this is right, and so I'm going to force it upon you because I think that's what God wants me to do. That's just purely insane. That is from my point of view, there's no defense for that. There's no defense for that in my mind. Again, I'm just telling you what I see. I don't know that what I'm thinking is right, but that's what I'm thinking. Anyone coming along saying my idea of what God is tells me to do this to you, poke your eye out, to tell you you can't dance, to tell you you can't eat meat on Friday. What the fuck? That's where I'm at with that. Yeah, you know, I'm listening to Willits and Sakamoto. what is the name of this album? Ocean Fire. Ryuichi Sakamoto and some Christopher Willits, I think is his name. I'm just about done here. It's 20 minutes. It's going to take a while for this to upload, but just wanted to just talk a little bit more. Okay, once again, I'm just sharing my opinion. I don't claim to know anything, which helps me to realize that I know nothing. All I do is know what I perceive. And it saves me from people coming along and trying to tell me anything, because you don't know anything either. All you know is what you perceive. And that's not a diss, that's just leveling the playing field, because that's the way it is. And the more level the playing field could be, the better the possibility that mankind could start moving forward, instead of drowning in this sea of illusion and fantasy. As long as we can make the picture look right, we'll just keep on moving. That's what angers me about NPR. I listen to these talk shows and I'll listen to them and I'll ultimately hear that they're not trying to solve anything. They're just getting paid. This is just a job. Nothing is being solved, no real solutions. They're just getting paid. What a waste of an opportunity.